Hey friends, Unfinity preview season has just begun, so it's time to do a daily deep dive on all the Commander legal cards in the set and see the first impressions, what I think of these cards, and if they're going to be any good in the Commander format. But before we begin, two quick reminders. First, if you enjoy this sort of content, be sure to like and subscribe. Unfinity previews have just begun, and I'm going to have a video covering all the new cards as they're being released every single day for the rest of the week until the set is fully revealed. And number two, if you want to pre-order these sweet new Unfinity cards, you can head on over to our sponsor, cardkingdom.com/mtdgoldfish, and be sure to ask for a scoop sticker in the order notes. Kicking things off, we have Myra the Magnificent, which also showcases one of the brand new mechanics in the set. This is a 4-mana Izzet 2/4 legendary creature human performer that says whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand, open an attraction. So attraction is a brand new mechanic in Unfinity set. They're basically a special type of artifact, and they begin in the game outside of your library. In a limited environment, you have to have a pile of attractions, minimum of 3, whereas in constructed, such as Commander, you have to have a minimum pile of 10 attractions before you can have an attraction pile. Now, the only way to get these attractions onto the battlefield is if you have a card that specifies opening an attraction, like Myra's first ability. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you open up an attraction. So you have a pile of attractions outside of the game. Whenever a card states opening an attraction, you take the top card from that attraction pile and you put it onto the battlefield. So for example, if Hall of Mirrors is the top card of your attraction pile and something says open an attraction, you just flip Hall of Mirrors from your attraction pile onto the battlefield. And then on your main phase, to use these attractions, on your main phase, you roll a 6-sided die, and whatever the result is, if it corresponds to the lit up number on that attraction, you get to visit that attraction and you get a certain perk. So, for example, in Hall of Mirrors, if you get a result of 2 or 6, you get to visit the attraction and use its ability, or on Concession Shand, if you get a result of 4 or 6, you get to visit that attraction and use that ability. So moving on, for Myra, you can also pay X and tap her to exile target instant or sorcery card with mana value X from your graveyard and choose an attraction you control that doesn't have a midway counter on it. Put a midway counter on it. Whenever you visit that attraction, copy the exiled card. You may cast a copy without paying its mana cost. So this is basically the attraction commander of the set. If you are interested in attractions, then this is going to merge Spellslinger with basically an Attraction Matters style deck. Attractions are also all artifacts, so you can kind of merge Spellslinger and Artifacts Matters together too, and there is a decent amount of overlap between the two. So it seems like a fun little commander. I don't think it's super powerful, so if people are like worried like these goofy cards are going to be like over push and stuff and you're going to see them everywhere in Commander, probably not. Like if you're looking at like Hall of Mirrors, for example, making stuff a copy of each other creature is really fun, but keep in mind you have to have a pile of 10 attractions starting the game, so the odds of you hitting Hall of Mirrors consistently is going to be pretty low, and the fact that you have to roll a d6 every single time and you only have a 2 out of 6 chance for you to actually do something with it makes it very unreliable. So it's really fun and goofy and random, but I don't think it's going to be very competitive, but I think it's kind of fun. It's a little bit confusing, but I think it's fun. Moving on though, we have Lifetime Pass Holder, which is another card that interacts with the attraction mechanic. This is a 1-mana black 2/1 zombie guest that says it enters the battlefield tapped, and when it dies, open an attraction. And whenever you roll to visit your attractions, if you roll a 6, you may return a Lifetime Pass Holder from your graveyard to the battlefield. So again, it works with attractions, matters, type effects. It's an efficient way of opening up an attraction. It comes back by itself too. It's a zombie, so there's a lot of ways to just recur zombies from the graveyard naturally, especially in black of all things. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty decent way of opening up attractions. It works very well with Skull Clamp. It's fine. Moving on, we have a new Planeswalker with a roll a d6 mechanic. This is Comet Stellar Pup. This is a 4-mana Boros Planeswalker, 5 starting loyalty for a legendary Planeswalker Comet, and it only has 1 loyalty ability. You roll a 6-sided die. On a 1 or a 2, it gets 2 loyalty counters. Then you create 2 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens. They gain haste until end of turn. On a result of 3, you lose 1 loyalty, then return a creature card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. On a 4 or 5, it deals damage equal to the number of loyalty counters on him to a creature or player. Then you lose 2 loyalty. And then finally, on a result of 6, you get 1 loyalty counter, and you may activate Comet's loyalty ability 2 more times this turn. So it's very random. This probably wants a lot of mana value 2 or less things in the graveyard, so that 3 ability is a little bit more consistent, even though, I mean, when we're talking consistency here, all of these abilities are very inconsistent. It's fine, it's cute, I don't know, it's not very powerful. I don't see myself playing it in Commander outside of maybe a very goofy, like, dog tribal deck, because it's not even a dog, it doesn't even get advantages from dog tribal stuff, but, like, the art is really cute. But it's not very good. Moving on. We got Space Bellerin, which is one of the more controversial cards from the set already, according to Twitter. It's a 4-mana Azorius, 3 starting loyalty, a legendary planeswalker, Jace, and it has Space Sculptor. Space Bellerin divides the battlefield into alpha, beta, and gamma sectors. If a creature isn't assigned to a sector, its controller assigns it to one, opponents assign first. And it has 3 abilities. So the +1 ability, creatures in each sector can be blocked this turn only by creatures in the same sector. -1 is put a +1/+1 counter on each creature in the sector of your choice. And -5 is destroy all creatures in the sector of your choice. So basically, Space Bellerin enters the battlefield. Each person puts their creatures into one of 3 sections. You probably want to put your better creatures in different sectors than your opponent's best creatures, because the -5 ability can destroy all creatures in the sector of your choice, so you want to destroy the sector that has the most threatening creatures your opponents control, but not the ones you control. And then the +1 ability is very good for your creatures to get around, like, threatening creatures, and then -1 is also really good for each creature in the sector. So for pretty much, you want to put your best creatures in a sector that your opponents are not putting their creatures in. As a TLDR, it's a lot of goofiness and thinking about sectors and stuff like that, but honestly, the card's just not, it's not very good, so it doesn't really matter. It's goofy. I don't think it's going to be played, like, at all in Commander. I thought maybe it would show up in Jace Tribal, but Jace Tribal is basically all mono blue. I think this is the first Jace card that isn't strictly mono blue, so I don't even think it's going to see play in Jace Tribal. So yeah, it's fine. All right, moving on. We have Robo Pinata. This is a 3-mana white, 2/1 artifact creature clown robot. And when it dies, choose 1. You either get 2 stickers, or you may put a sticker on a non-land permanent you own. So for those who don't know about stickers, you're in good company, because I don't really know too. I think you, again, also have to have a pile of stickers starting the game with you, and you randomly choose, like, a couple when you're about to start the game, so there's a randomized factor to it. When you get 2 stickers, whichever of the sticker cards that you have, they all have different abilities, and you can cash them in for just, like, very weak abilities. So this one gives you 2 stickers. You can cash that in, for example, the Phyrexian Midway Bamboozle card, to give, whenever this creature attacks, you get a sticker. Or on Jetpack Death Seltzer, you can cash in 2 stickers to give something trample. You can also add, like, random names like Phyrexian or Midway or Bamboozle to your cards for free. And yeah, it's not good. It's not good, but it's legal, so there you have it. And if you have a clown robot deck, then I guess there's synergies there. Alright, moving on, we have Wizards of the Blank. This is a 4-mana blue, 3/1 creature human wizard performer that says when this creature enters the battlefield, you may put a name sticker on it. Then look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of unique vowels on that sticker. Put one of those cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. The vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and Y. So basically, this is like a bad Seagate Lore Master. There's a bunch of cards that basically, when they enter the battlefield, you get to look at a certain number of cards on top of your library and put one of them in your hand. The most notable one is the Seagate Lore Master. It's a 3-drop, 1/3 instead of a 3/1. I think it's also a Human Wizard, and you get to look at the top 3 cards and choose one, so it's, like, very consistent. This one is highly randomized. You could, I guess, theoretically, get to dig up to 6 cards deep and put one of those cards into your hand. You probably need to be into a different language other than English for that to work, probably consistently. So yeah, it's not very good. You're seeing a common theme here. Most of them are not very good, but they're funny. So yeah, whatever. Moving on. I guess that's actually all the new cards from today. The rest were Acorn stamped that are not legal in any Eternal formats outside of the limited environments for Infinity. If you want me to go over those, I can for future videos. But I just want to end things with some cool reprints that are very, very sweet. For those who don't know, the Shocklands are getting reprinted with very cool futuristic borderless art. So you can see the one here on Godless Shrine. And also there's going to be 2 different versions of the basic lands that are going to be very sweet. They're also borderless. The one island I put over here is one type, but there's another one that's planetary. That's like a full planet is kind of associated to that color. And they look really cool. And obviously they are legal in Commander or wherever else. So yeah, that's it. That's Infinity. It was a lot shorter than the Warhammer 40k ones, which thank goodness about that. Let me know what you think about the set, about the new mechanics, and if you want me to cover the Acorn cards, which are basically not legal in Commander or anything, but they're still neat. They still have very neat effects. So let me know. And until next time, friends, see ya!